Hey guys, Captain Smash here again. We're going to finish up with our conversation on the bench press and improving the bench press with better form by talking about foot placement. So now, a lot of people just simply flop down on the bench and grab the bar and just press it out. But in reality, you should think of the bench press as kind of like a squat lying down. You want a lot of leverage in order to be able to press correctly. So we went through shoulder blade position and also hand position. Now we're talking about foot positioning, which is super important because you want to be able to drive through your feet and through your hips in order to get a nice solid press. So again, think of the bench press as kind of like a squat lying down. You want to use your hips. So now in a competition style bench press, you don't want your hips leaving the ground. And a lot of people you'll see that are trying to drive through their hips, they get the bar up and then they try to press and they push their hips up like this. So that's okay, they kind of have the right idea, but you want to essentially push back into that arch you created with your shoulder blades. That way you get the most positive drive out of your bench as possible. So with your feet, a lot of times you just want to find a nice comfortable spot that's wide enough that you can create tension through the hips. So, but if you're looking to get a really big bench press or improve upon your bench press, you need more leverage. So when that happens, you want to position your feet so that it's a pattern of width that you can still push, but you're not allowing your hips to come off of the bench. Okay? Some people like a nice close stance, so they'll get all the way back here and they can really drive from there. Or, as I prefer, a nice wide grip pattern. That way when I push, my butt can't come off the seat. So I get that bar elevated, I bring it down, and then I actually physically drive my heels into the floor, pushing back into my shoulder blades. You can see I have a little bit of a rock when I've got my feet engaged as I come down. I give a little pause on the bottom, and then as I push, I drive through my hips into my shoulder blades, and then I push away. So foot placement will make or break your lift. And if you lose connectivity with the floor, you're going to be very unstable. Take this example where if you were fighting somebody, if you were standing on one leg, you wouldn't have a lot of support. You wouldn't be able to fight very effectively. Same instance, if somebody picks you up, you have no stability anymore. So you'll see people benching with their feet up in the air or their feet up on the bench. In my opinion, this is useless because you're not really utilizing the advantage of having yourself grounded and being able to drive into the floor with your feet. Might be okay for stability purposes, but you're really not going to get a good bench out of that, simply because you don't have enough muscles involved, you don't have enough leverage. So find a position where your feet are either wide enough or far enough back that you can create tension in through the hips and you can physically drive through the floor and push the weight up. Wherever that is for you. And it should almost be crampy in through your hip flexors and in through your lower back because you're creating so much tension in there. You're kind of like a bound up spring. So when you bring that bar down, drive through the hips, it just kind of shoots off the chest. Now the only thing that will mess you up on this one is if you don't have a bench that has a good grip, or if you're simply driving straight up. You want to push back into your shoulder blades. So if you don't have enough arch in your shoulder blades, you're not going to be able to hit this very effectively. So work on your arch and work on your foot placement. So if it's not working right, switch it around. Go a little wider or bring them back a little bit further so you have that tension in there and you can get a nice solid leg drive. All right, that's it for this bench episode, and I'll chat with you later.